thank you for tuning in to Inward Beauty. And remember, beauties, beauty starts within. This is our Pose With Me series. And I'm so grateful to have my very favorite yoga instructor, Atiba of AtibaOmar.com. Thank you, Atiba, for coming. What are we learning today?
Today, we are learning 3 postures, beginning with the cobra, with a variation in some of these postures. In the cobra, you lay face down on the mat. You may want to have a towel at the head of your mat, wherever you will put your face, depending upon your own discretion if you think the mat is clean or not. So, place a towel at the head of the mat, lay down face down with your forehead on the ground. Every time you do anything, your spine is always involved, most especially when you do yoga. So you always observe the natural alignment of the spine. In this case, you want your forehead on the ground because if your head is back like so, the vertebrae in your neck, the cervical vertebrae, are closed. If your head is down like so, they are open. So this spine is open fully, very naturally, from the cervical vertebrae, the first one, to the first lumbar vertebrae. The hands are about shoulder height. Here, in fact, bring the hands down a bit lower. This way, you ensure that you get a maximum engagement of your lumbar region, your lower spine, but your hands are down here like so. You can slide them away from you as you enter into the posture, but from the beginning, put your hands about shoulder height. Most important, keep your pelvis on the ground. Your hips, legs open, relaxed for this first variation. So, you inhale, press up, keeping your head down to the last minute, because again, you're observing the natural alignment of the spine. Come up from the lumbar region, up, 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 then your head comes up. After you come up as high as you can, pelvis to the ground, then you can slide your hands away from you, keeping your pelvis on the ground, and the further you slide your hands away, the more pressure, intensity you put onto your spine. But your pelvis must be on the ground, otherwise you're cheating yourself. What's the point in that? And just as you engage your spine fully, one vertebrae at a time, raising your head up last, you disengage, you descend now, please. In the same way, of course, the opposite direction. First, you disengage your lower lumbar, then your thoracic vertebrae, and lastly, the vertebrae in your neck by bringing your head down. The second variation of this posture involves putting the heels together. You do exactly the same as you did in the first variation. Have your hands around shoulder height, forehead on the ground, pelvis on the ground. You inhale and ascend one vertebrae at a time, except in this variation, you keep your heels together throughout the entire movement. Vastly, vastly, vastly different intensity and effect. You see how long this gifted student was able to maintain that ascent with her heels on the ground, much more powerful. So, she takes a moment to compose herself. All the time she needs, but not a moment more. Because one thing we want to maintain in yoga is intensity. This is how we engage energy and spirit. We'll look at that another time. After she has composed herself, she moves into the next posture, which is the bow. Grabbing her ankles, you will see that the movement looks just like a bow. She is an arrow. She is shooting the arrow of spirit. She starts in the same way or engages the posture in the same way. From the lower lumbar vertebrae, then rises up in natural sequence, natural order, and brings her head up, raising her legs, her thighs off the ground. Posing or pausing a moment Descending slowly. If you've never done yoga, these movements may seem just ridiculously easy. In a sense, they are, in that anyone can do them. But they are very, very demanding. They take a great deal out of you, these little simple movements, which is why she pauses in between. See what she has done again. Raise her legs up, her thighs off the ground, kick her feet into her hands, and elevated her torso and head as far as she could, arching back as far as you could. The idea is to touch your head to your feet in that posture. It's impossible, but you do it anyway, right? The next movement will be the locust. Here she has her chin on the ground, precisely because she wants to create tension in her neck. She wants to create a tension here so that she has pressure with which to raise up from. Here, her chest, her hands, palms down underneath her thighs, are the foundation she's pushing off from. So she composes herself, gets her mind right, relaxed. Her hips, legs are relaxed, open. No need to keep your feet together in this posture. You can, but you get great intensity just by having your legs relaxed. And you inhale and raise your feet. Feet, calves, thighs, high as you can. Again, you see, very, very demanding posture. She was able to hold it for only a few seconds, which is very fine. Maximum number or amount of time to shoot for is about 20 seconds, but that was fine. Now I'm going to assist. And look at the elevation that she has in her spine. Look at the range of motion she has in her spine when she is assisting in the same posture. If you have someone assist you doing this, they have to be very mindful, very careful, because it's so easy to overextend. Anytime you get any kind of signal from the person you are assisting, as I just received, you stop. So, lastly, you see, she went from her chin to her forehead in order to take the pressure off the spine that she had put on in order to do the posture. Now she can push herself up into the renowned and glorious child's pose of such a gorgeous and relaxing posture. Of course, she exits slowly, one vertebrae at a time. This is the extended child's pose, Uttita Balasana, because her arms are way away from her, her hands are way away from her. She puts them behind her in this fashion, and this is the classical child's pose. The fetus is called sometimes. And there you have it. The cobra, two variations, the bow, the locust, and the child's pose. Practice these and prosper. Otherwise, you're cheating yourself.
And what's the point of that?
What's the point of that?
Thank you so much for posing with us today. I really appreciate you guys sharing your time with us. I hope you enjoyed the sauce I was dishing up with you guys and for you guys today in the form of one of my very favorite resources. This is the saucEress signing out. Let me tell y'all something. That little stuff, it looked like it wasn't much, but I'm tired. Thank you guys for tuning in to Inward Beauty, and remember, beauty starts within.